Tandem Nomads, episode 191. You should never try to sell anything in your business without at least validating that people are ready to buy from you. There is a simple way for you to know if your clients will buy before you even try to sell from them. And this is what we will cover today. Hello, Nomad Nation. Welcome to Tandem Nomads, the podcast show and entrepreneurship platform where you can find great inspiration and tips to grow a successful portable business and thrive in your global nomadic life. This is your host, Amel Deregi. I'm excited to bring to you this episode that's all about how to know if your clients will buy from you before you even sell. In fact, a lot of entrepreneurs rush into building their offers and then go into promoting it, spending a lot of time, energy, and sometimes even money in attracting people to your offer, and then crickets. Well, there is a way to avoid this. And there is a way to also be more effective at even selling more. Even if you're already selling, you could be selling more if you did this one simple thing. What is it? Running a survey. Hopping on a call with at least 7 people and asking them some critical questions that will give you all the information you need to be able to sell effectively, but also authentically. Is as simple as that. Hopping on a call and asking simple questions. Not selling. I'm not talking about going on a call and pitching people. No, before you even sell, I invite you to take the time to talk to some people in your community, in your network, to validate if your offer is actually what people want and are ready to pay for. I've been in this business, Tandem Nomads, for now 5 years, and I still do this. Every single time I have a new offer, I validate it before I even sell it. And sometimes I pre-sell it before I even officially sell it to make sure that it is getting the results that will allow me to promote it even better afterwards. I can tell you from my clients as well, the power for them every single time they did this exercise and hopped on a call with a few people before even they sell to ask them some important questions before even talking about what you have to offer, asking some questions to validate that what you have to offer is indeed a response to certain challenges that you are serving and solving for them. But also to know what will trigger that buying factor. So in order to help you do that, I have prepared a gold-free guidebook for you. This is probably the best guidebook I've ever done. This is something that I only give to my clients, but I decided for this episode to prepare it for you. Because indeed, you might ask me, okay, let me try to hop on a call and talk with some people to validate my product or service. What questions are you going to ask to make sure that you do it properly? Well, I have prepared the series of questions that you should ask before you sell your product or your service and when you hop on calls to interview people and understand their needs. So if you're interested in doing this exercise and are ready for the challenge, make sure to download this guidebook on tandemnomads.com/191, and I will tell you exactly what questions you need to ask and how to do it effectively. But I will summarize it here for you to give you a bit of an idea of what you need to know before you hop on a call with potential clients. These are the 4 types of questions you need to ask to know if your offer will be received well, but also to know how to sell it effectively. The first one is the challenges and the pain points that your clients experience around the topic that you serve. The second one is the resources and the solutions that your potential clients have been using in the past to solve these challenges. Remember that every single business is here to solve a problem. You need to be very specific about what problem you're solving and how you're solving it. And this is why you need to spend some time to understand what is the context of your clients, what is that problem that they have, and how it expresses itself through those challenges and those pain points. And second, as I said, what have they been doing to solve this problem so far? And when you'll do that, you will also figure out among those resources, be it free or paid resources, what has worked and what has not worked. Which leads me to the third type of information you need when you run these surveys, is the market gap and motivator to buy. Like I said, you will figure out what are the solutions that they use so far, what has worked and what has not worked. What has not worked is actually the market gap, is where is the potential for you to develop your offer and fine-tune it and sell it properly. So once you reach that point, there's some specific questions to help you to figure out where is exactly that market gap and what will motivate people from buying from you. And finally, the fourth type of information you need is to validate your offer. You want to make sure that the offer that you want to sell is indeed what this person needs to solve these challenges and to get the results this person wants. So make sure before you run your interview to be very clear about how to describe your offer. And for that, you need to first be clear about what problem you're solving, what are the solutions you're providing, and what transformation and results is your offer going to provide. So take a moment before you run your interviews to prepare that. And in the workbook that I have for you today, I also guide you on how to describe that. So make sure to download it and go through all the questions that I've listed for you for these 4 types of information. These questions are going to be a gold mine of information for you. Thanks to these questions and the answers you will get, you will first of all learn how to use the right vocabulary, the right wording, and the right language to describe your offer and the benefits of your offer and to sell effectively with the right words that your clients really align with and identify with. The second benefit of going through this process is to actually know your competition. Who are the other people that your potential clients are reaching out to or finding along the way to solve the problem you solve? And I really invite you to look at your competition as an amazing blessing for you to get even more information about your market and how you can reach your clients and sell effectively. Go check this competition, where they're promoting themselves, what are they doing that's different from you, how can you learn from them, not copy them, but learn from what's working for them and adapt it to your business. You definitely don't want to make it copy-paste, otherwise it will definitely not work, but understand what's working with the other competition for your clients that you could as well learn from and adapt your business or your offer or your product or your service. All right, I'm just going to make a small pause here. I'm very focused in what I'm saying, but while I'm talking, there's a huge windstorm outside and it's whistling like never before. So I hope that this is not disturbing you too much, because there is really no way I could find to stop this background noise. But anyhow, I just hope that you can still stay focused with me, and I am really into what I'm talking about right now, as you can see. All right, let's get back into this. The other great benefit of doing this work and sitting down and having these conversations is to learn where you can develop your differentiation value where others haven't been able to serve their clients. And this is what we called previously the market gap. There is always a way for you to find a place to differentiate yourself. And it doesn't have to be rocket science. Know that just being yourself and your personality is often enough. But it should also help you to improve your offer and always keep updating your business, and being on top of the need and then listening to the market is what will always keep you one step ahead from the competition. So make sure to listen carefully to what's working very well for others and what's not working, and try to figure out how can you compensate and build an offer that really can fill out that gap of the things that are not working. And here is the other huge benefit of running these interviews. And this is why I call this episode is how can you know if your clients will buy before you even sell, is because although I really insist on this, these interviews' purpose is not to sell, but to listen and ask questions and spend more time taking notes and listening than talking. However, at the end of this process, through this workbook, you will see that there's a way to validate your offer. There's a way to present your offer and see if there is an interest without being salesy, without being pushy. And if this person that you're having on this call really expresses an interest to this offer, then you can immediately follow up and make the offer. So don't hesitate to do that. I can tell you from the majority of the clients I've been working with who have been following this process really well have often ended up with at least one client, if not more. So I really, really highly recommend you to go through this process. By the way, I have an episode with one of my clients who has been through this process and shared how she got her clients. So I will put the link of this episode on tandemnomads.com/191, and I will put that interview right there so that you can learn and get inspired by her own story. But definitely remember, these calls are not about selling, they are about listening and learning about your ideal clients and what will trigger them to buy. And here is one other huge advantage of running interviews before you even sell. Let's say that you have an offer or a product you're trying to develop, and you don't know yet how you are going to put it into place or how you're going to sell it. I actually even advise you, if you already know how you're going to develop or sell this product, you should run these interviews. Running these interviews is an amazing way to not only validate your product or service, but also sell it before even it's ready. I highly, highly recommend you to always develop a pilot or a beta version of your offer, especially if you need to develop it with heavy components, either through technology or even, for example, if you have an online course and you need to spend a lot of hours developing this online course. You don't want to spend those hours developing a product or a service that you're not even sure that people are going to buy. You need to validate that people are ready to buy what you have before even you develop it. And this is a huge advice that I have for you. I'm going to give you the example of my case. I have an online course called the Portable Business Accelerator. I have not officially promoted this course at all yet. The way I did it was that I hopped on calls with members of the community of Tandem Nomads, new listeners and members of the Tandem Nomads Facebook group, and I asked for a few people if they would be willing to hop on a call with me to ask them some questions about how it's going for them in their businesses. I wanted to make sure that the problems and the challenges that I wanted to address with this course were correct. But I also want to make sure that the course that I imagined will actually develop and produce the results that I want for them. And this is why after these interviews, I not only analyzed the challenges that were shared with me and the answers that I got through all the questions that again you will have in the workbook. Through all those questions, I realized that I actually needed to tweak my product. And then once I tweaked it, I followed up with the people who answered my questions and specifically those who really validated the challenges that I wanted to address and that said that they would be interested in such a product or service. I then followed up with them and offered them to become my beta testers. So beta testers should always pay a small portion of the price. Maybe not the full price, but at least a small portion. I can tell you, if people don't pay, they will never give you the right feedback. I often say people will give you their real, honest opinion with their wallet. You will know if your product or service is effective and if it will sell properly once people have paid, even if it's just to test it. So this course is ongoing. My beta course members are just amazing. Big shout out to you if you're listening. I'm just so proud of them and how they're showing up through this course and the results they're getting. I'm really excited for them. But I'm also amazed and very thankful by them because thanks to this beta process, not only through the interviews, I could actually realize that I needed to tweak certain things, but while I'm developing this course with them, I'm realizing that there are some changes that I need to do to the way I wanted to develop the knowledge and provide that knowledge to help my clients grow their portable businesses. So we are co-creating this program together, and it's been amazing to do this. So on top of the amazing benefit of saving you time and money and energy selling something that will not sell, the experience of going through this journey with your beta testers is just powerful, because if you really are from a place of serving, even through a beta test, you will have such an amazing pool of people who would be willing to share their experiences then afterwards. In fact, another very effective way to sell is to have social proof. So if you have a list of testimonials and people willing to share their success stories, you have so much more chances to sell than if you try to sell something where you have not yet proven its effectiveness yet with real clients who are willing to go through that validation process with you. So really make sure to always test your product or service before you even sell it. And running these interviews is a great place to start. I mentioned this briefly before, but one of the biggest objections that I have when I ask people to do this is, what if I don't find anybody to answer my questions? First of all, I want to challenge you with that. Is that really true that you won't find anybody to answer your questions? If you can't find anybody to answer your questions, how can you find anyone to actually give you money and buy your product or service? So if you want to know how successful you will be, you definitely need to have as many people who would be willing to hop on a call with you as possible. If you're not having access to that network, it means that you're not having access to your clients. So make sure that you are running your business in a way to build solid relationships and solid network with potential clients so that you can have these kind of conversations without it feeling complicated and difficult to do. But also give yourself a chance and realize that people are busy indeed. Especially nowadays, it's getting more and more difficult to hop on a call with people. The key here to hop on a call with at least 7 people is to reach out to at least a double amount of people. So don't hesitate. Understand that the riches is in the numbers of people you reach. The more people you reach out to, the more chances you will have people who will say yes. So don't hesitate to really go for it and try it out, and don't give up. Even if people say no, don't take it personally. Understand that people are busy, and even if they don't answer to you, understand that people are busy. But know that the more you reach out to people, the more chances you will find that person who will say yes. From my personal experience and from my experience working with my clients, there will always be somebody ready to hop on a call with you. It's just about you believing in it and willing to do it and willing to reach out to enough people to do that. And here is a way where you can incentivize people to hop on a call with you. I really recommend you, whenever you reach out to somebody to ask them to hop on a call, tell them what you can offer them in exchange. For example, if you're a coach, you can offer them in exchange one free session. That is a great way to have a give-give, win-win situation. They're getting you information and you're giving them support. Or any kind of freebie or great resource that you can offer for free as a gift, do it to make sure that you make it even more interesting for the people to hop on a call with you. Also, a quick tip, once somebody says yes and you finish the call or the interview with them, don't hesitate to ask them to connect you with somebody they know who might be in the same situation that you could interview. So, and ask as well your friends, ask your networks, ask your previous clients to help you out and connect you with the right people. Actually, this whole process of running these surveys can be an amazing way to start even growing your network and your audience if you don't already have one. And even if you have one, it is going to expand your number of people that you get to know and that you get to discuss with and have conversations with. So this is, on top of everything, an amazing way to also grow your audience. I can truly guarantee you that if you seriously take the time to do these interviews, you will, first of all, have such an amazing wealth of knowledge that will help you really grow your business. And you will discover so much information that will take your business to the next level. On top of it, I hope you will also get excited of connecting and having those important conversations and learning about the fringes of your business and how you can even improve certain aspects of your business or even discover new ideas that you might have never thought of. But ultimately, this is the best way to actually sell. Knowing your clients, knowing their needs is the best way to convince them on how your offer can really make a difference for them. It's by listening to what they have to say instead of trying to sell with your own words and the reasons you think your offer is the best or the right thing for them. So take the time to do this, and I want to challenge you, Nomad Nation. Here we go. I have a challenge for you, and I hope you will accept it. I want you, after this episode, to download this workbook, do the exercise with all the questions that I prepared for you. And then in the next 7 days, I want you to reach out to 7 people. I want you to interview 7 people. So do that. And even if you can't do it in 7 days, at least give yourself that goal of 7 people. And one important thing, when I say 7 people, I mean your ideal type of clients. You need to know who are your ideal type of clients so that you can really be able to sell effectively. So don't interview any kind of people. Make sure first to understand who would be your ideal client and try to find as many people as possible who fit that profile. However, if you don't know who is your ideal client, I first of all invite you to reflect on it, to think about it. As I mentioned in many episodes, you need to have a very specific niche in your business to be able to be successful. If you try to sell to everybody, you will sell to nobody. So pick a very specific niche, and I would invite you to have a one page where you write the story of the one person you would love to work with and figure out what is those criteria that define this person that you could find more people who look like this person. So first of all, reflect on it, but also know that this interview process can also help you figure out and validate your ideal client. So you can run this interview exactly like I described it in the workbook of this episode, but just keep in mind and try to add some questions to really see What is the common thread between the people who validate your idea, your offer, but also the type of challenges that you want to solve? All right, so Nomad Nation, is this challenge accepted? Let me know once you download this workbook and answer to that email by telling me challenge accepted. And that way I can keep you accountable. I would love to hear from you. Once you download this workbook, just let me know, simple word, challenge accepted, and I will be waiting for your answer after you run those 7 interviews. If you have any questions, feel free to also reach out to me about this. I'm always happy to support. The email is connect@tandemnomads.com. But you will have it once you download this workbook. And this workbook will give you all the questions you need to ask, as well as some guidance on how to run those interviews. I cannot wait to see what comes out for you. Go to tandemnomads.com/191. You will find all the information and the link to download this workbook. All right, so I hope that you accept this challenge, and I can't wait to hear from you. As usual, I look forward to meeting you in the next episode, but I also want to thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. I hope you had a great value from this episode, and I can't wait to hear what comes out for you. Stay tuned to turn your challenges into great opportunities.